Hey everyone, Shnickerman here, back with another video. This is part 2 of building a video game room from scratch. In the first part of this video series, I was telling everyone I recently bought a house. We have 2 guest bedrooms and about 4 different walk-in closets. So I was asking, what should I use for the game room? Should I use some walk-in closets? Should I use one of the guest bedrooms? Should I use both? The consensus is to probably use some combination of one guest room plus the walk-in closet to create more interesting visual display pieces and also give myself some room to walk around, play video games, because that's the most important thing, right? The second thing we talked about in the first episode was what color I should make the game room. And for the most part, I saw comments about using gray or some other lighter color, and I think that's smart because I think most of the design elements that I'm going to have, whether they're posters or shelves or plush, are going to be colorful on their own. So I'm going to go with a white gray color to paint the entire room and walk-in closet, and then all my decoration elements will kind of help the visual aspects. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the room I chose, why I chose it, and then we're going to talk about some of the things I've started to plan we're going to put in this game room. So first things first, I used the website floorplancreator.net, and I was able to assemble a rough estimate of my guest room, which is a 12.5 feet by 10 feet, which creates about 125 square feet. And this part over here represents the walk-in closet, which opens in this area over here and is a couple feet by a couple feet. And we'll talk about this in a further video somewhere down the line. But for now, look at this area. This will be where my desk is roughly. This is the door to get in the room. This is a window that I don't want to block. And then I think I will have a TV in this area. And then everything else will be shelving and posters. So today I will talk a little bit more about which kind of shelving I have selected. So I went to IKEA with my wife recently. They have these Billy bookcases, which are in a bunch of different veneers and colors, but the one that I saw in person that really caught my eye was the Billy bookcase, which comes in this brown walnut color. And I think the reason why it drew my attention is I like the coziness of it, the warm feeling that it gives me. I think it has a really good contrast with video games on it. And for fans of the channel, you may have seen this kind of darker brown shelf, which I've been a big fan of for a couple years. So I think it kind of ties in with that shelf as well. So I would like to kind of target some different types of shelves in my game room this time around. These ones are kind of like a square shelf that's very long. I'm going to probably get about 2 of these. And then they have a version which is kind of like double that shelf. And I'll probably pick up 2 of these as well. Like I'm thinking the 360 collection could mostly fit on there, or the PS4 collection. And maybe these thinner shelves for smaller video game collections or displays. And then I also found these shelves, which are kind of the square units, which you may be familiar with from a store like Target or something like that. But the cool thing about these ones is that you can also put them on the wall. And I think having the top as a shelf and then also these 4 boxes are gonna open up a lot of different display options. The only problem is they just have this walnut effect, not the brown walnut, but I think it'll still fit in pretty well, and I can always stain it or paint it if needed. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So if we go back to the actual plan, here are the 2 smaller but tall bookshelves. Here are the thicker ones, and then this would be the 4x4 square setup. And I measured out all the dimensions based off the IKEA website. So the TV will be in this area, the consoles, some kind of desk, and then you can put a chair, and you still have a ton of space to like play Kinect games or have different people over. And you can also have the potential to pull out a guest bed in this area, and then the desk is kind of separated in its own separate area that's close enough if I need to capture things, but not close enough that it's going to get in the way.
There's also this built-in feature on IKEA's website, which is called the Homeroom Designer, and you can basically import actual IKEA products. So here it's a little bit harder to set up than my kind of CAD drawing room setup, but you can see I've imported a few of the Billy bookcases in walnut that I like, as well as that Kallax shelf, the 4 part. You can see the colors definitely vary, but it's kind of cool to get an idea, and you can actually add these things directly to your cart and then get an estimate of how much it would cost you. But through all this process, what I actually realized too was that I forgot that this room has a radiator on 2 sides of the wall. So the shelves, even if I use them, will not be able to go directly to the wall. So I may actually want to use more of these kind of 4 floating shelves and then put my desk on the opposite side, or just simply use the other part of the room that doesn't have the radiators. So everything's still a work in progress for this game room, unfortunately. But hopefully something like this can be useful to you guys in case you are ever designing your own game room.
So let me know your feedback on the next step. This is going to be quite a process. The rooms, especially the guest rooms, they haven't been painted or cleaned yet. So I'll keep you guys updated as much as I possibly can, but it's going to be slow coming at first. So as more of an update, kind of what I've been working on, guys. So we've been playing some video games recently. We've been playing more Digimon Survive, which is pretty cool. I finally beat my second playthrough. I've been playing more Eternal Card Game, which, you know, fans of the channel might know that I'm kind of addicted to that. I also started playing some older games. Like, I played a little bit of the Halo Master Chief Collection. I realized I had never beat Reach a second time on that. And I recently picked up again Fallout New Vegas. I haven't watched the Fallout TV show. If you have, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. But it renewed my interest in the game because I've always loved New Vegas, and I always wanted to do a playthrough to follow like the Caesars quest line. I won't spoil too much about that. But there are also 2 DLCs I never played. So I made a second account a long time ago, and I'm just finally now getting around to that. So I guess today's game that I'm passionate about will be Fallout New Vegas. I got it on release, had a lot of fun with it. The beginning of that game, for people who have played, can be quite frustrating. You have to walk through a lot of really difficult monsters in the beginning of the game, so it makes it kind of frustrating, but the overall story is very interesting. There's a lot of factions that intertwine. So if you watched the Fallout show and you thought it was really cool, I would definitely pick up Fallout New Vegas. It's a good jumping point into the series, and I would highly recommend it to anyone. And especially because it's backwards compatible, you can play it on newer Xbox consoles, and it's relatively affordable if you want to use physical copy or a digital copy. So that will be my shout out for this vlog. And that's pretty much it. So guys, until the next video, peace out.